Hey friends, this is Marilyn from tarotclarity.com, and today's video is similar to my last video where I compared Italian decks with Spanish decks. And one of my Italian subscribers, Grease Reese, shout out to that individual for kindly letting me know the most popular playing cards in Italy. And they told me that Piacentine or Piacentine is one of the most popular playing decks in Italy. That is not tarot. And another one is the Napoleon, or let's see how it's said. Napletane. So I presume Napletane references Naples in the south. So this must be a popular deck for the southern region of Italy. And the Piacentine must be for the northern area. And they're not tarot. So let's check it out. And if I have to pull out a modern deck of tarot cards to compare, or the Spanish deck, I will. But we'll play that by ear. So let me flip the camera and check out the decks. Okay, so both decks are published by Modiano. And it appears as though they recently celebrated their 150th anniversary of playing cards. So they're kind of historic too. And they're both shrink wrapped, but I wanted to take a look at their back. So unlike some modern day, some modern day playing card companies, not all the decks have the same back. I think this looks similar to one of the other decks that we looked at the other day that was a tarot deck. So let me pull off the paper and the wrap and see if they're in the same order. I'll just show them the way they came, but I'm presuming they're in the same order. So they're both a petite playing card size, with the Napoleon deck and Napletane deck being a little smaller. So what we have here is I presume, the identifying card for each deck. So we've seen these kinds of aces of cups in tarot decks. I want to say the Vandenborre, but without looking at it, I can't swear to it. So we have a cudgel for the ace. Let's see how they go for the rest of the deck, the suit. And then they switch to, oh, this looks like a sword. This definitely looks like a baton. But then, oh, maybe they're doing the aces first. Gotcha. Oh, maybe not. I don't know. I don't know what they're doing, but this is the order they're in. So this looks like an ace of swords. So they had the ace of batons and the ace of swords first. So they keep them, so far the decks are in the same order, but not necessarily. It doesn't make sense. So unlike the Spanish deck that I think didn't start until the 5, right? I think it didn't start until the 5. So far we seem to have all the 2s, and then we'll go through probably all the 3s. And by looking at the way the suits are represented, and here we have cudgels. So they're sort of influenced, or they're similar to the Spanish. If we look at the individual suits, because we're not going to see the triumph suit like that we would have in tarot decks, but if we look at the cards, we might be able, if we look at the pip cards, we might be able to see similarities to some of the tarot, right? Now here we have a similarity to the Spanish suit of swords, which are daggers or straight swords. They're not they're not the scimitars that we see in some of the tarot decks, although we did see straight swords in the, I think it was the Sicilian. So both suit of coins of both decks sort of remind me of sunshine or sunbursts. Very pretty. So we have a scene in the Napletane one. Very, very pretty. So it's interesting in the Italian tarot decks how the ace of the batons retained the cudgel shape, but then the rest of the suits, the rest of the baton suit is more like a baton, a ceremonial baton. And like the suit of swords, in most is I think it's a straight, likewise the suit of swords, the ace is a straight sword. And then when we get into the rest of the pips, there's a more, there's a scimitar shape. So we have double-endedness in the Piacentine, deck, where we just have, we don't have the double-endedness in the southern. Here's my boyfriend. What's he doing? We don't see what's in this hand, but he's not holding a cup. And we have I don't know if that's a female knight. Could be, but not necessarily. So there appears to be no queen. So we've seen the backward glancing knights before. And what deck was that? Was that a Metelli? Oh, here are the kings. I'm sorry. I should have realized they were in this order. So maybe we do have a queen. I don't know. So this deck of the Piacentine appears to have queens, whereas the Napletane deck does not seem to have queens. Oh, and these are just instructional cards. Neither of which are in English, but why should they be? Because they're Italian decks. So it was short and sweet. I hope you enjoyed it. I think it's very interesting. Shall I quickly take out the Spanish deck and just, I don't know if my Spanish deck is in any order. My Fournier Spanish deck. But we see a similarity, right? Now the Spanish deck, they're more like daggers than swords, except for when we have the ace and the court cards. And recall, oh, the Spanish cards do have ace and two. Oh, okay, I was confusing it. I get confused. Okay, the aces go up to, excuse me, the cups go up to 7. Let's see if that's what they all go up to. I can't recall. Yeah. They go up to 7 and then they turn into quartz. That's right. So I apologize for saying it incorrectly before. But with the Italian decks, we have a full set of pips, it appears. So, okay, friends, until next time, peace and stay well.